Hi, it is Sunday. It is time for my mental health vlog. It is late, but I'm in Orlando, and it's been a great day. And my family's actually downstairs right now. We're playing a game in our Airbnb, and I'm like, oh crap, it's Sunday. I have to do my vlog. This week has been great. Work was busy at the beginning of the week. Trying to get a lot done, and then Wednesday night. Oh, and I was trying to get caught up on orders that I had. And on Wednesday night, my boyfriend and I went to go see Chicago, which is cool. The one of the actresses that's starring in the Chicago, I connected with when she was Ursula in The Little Mermaid. I don't know if you remember me talking about how good she was. It was cool to meet her in person and really have that connection and get a hug. And she recognized me as her patch guy because I gave her that Ursula patch when she did Ursula. So that was a lot of fun. Thursday night we did dinner with my boyfriend's parents because it was his dad's birthday, which was really nice. Of course, I made sure my son sent him a text message or something. Since he's a grandpa now, I'm like, okay, so Joshua, you've given them the grandpa and grandma title. You have to, make sure you treat them like they're grandma and grandpa now. So there was that. Friday morning, we got up early, went to the airport, got coffee, and dropped off the pets at my boyfriend's parents' house, and then we came to the airport. We flew into Orlando. My mom and my aunt and my sister picked my boyfriend and I up, and then we drove all the way back to the Daytona area because that's where they live. Got to see my mom's new place and help out with a few things around there, which was nice. It was good to be able to put eyes on everything, like where she's staying, what she needs, how the conditions are, because holy cow, I worry about her more now than I ever have before. I will say this trip is, and I think I go through this every time I see my family. I think about how old my mother was when her parents died, and how old my aunt was when her parents died, and I don't feel like I'm super far away from that number, and I'm a lot closer than that number than I'd like to be. I know it's a part of life, but man, so you just gotta make sure you make the most of what you got. And I'm trying to do that this weekend because Lord knows we have laughed so much and we have had so much fun, and my sister and I have gotten into so much trouble with Mom. So I have to tell you this, and she already knows, so this is fun. I was left alone in her house, my sister's house today. I went through the house and slightly moved a lot of things. Some are really obvious, some are not, but it's something that she'll eventually notice. Not today, not tomorrow, maybe not next week, but in 2 months, she's gonna be staring at something in the house and be like, how long has that been like that? Oh my God, giving her shit has been so much fun. I really have loved this little weekend, being around so much family. My uncle came down from South Carolina. He's just a crotchety old man, but he's a nice crotchety old man. So it's, he's good people. And my sister, of course, we stayed at her house, and my brother-in-law and my mom and my boyfriend, and it's been a hoot. there's just been so much laughter and so much fun and so much joy and so much positivity and healing and connections and all those things you really hope for with a good family visit. I also saw pictures online of a very dear friend of mine who was adopted, spending this weekend with her birth family. I mean, how cool is that for her to get to I mean, it's like, it's never too late to connect with important people in your life. And one side of me is super excited for her, and one side of me is, God, what if my son, I hope he does, but I'm like preparing myself for that moment when he wants to know more, to discover more, to connect more. I have to remember to not take that personally. Like, he's not seeking that out because I wasn't a good parent. He's just seeking that out to find more about where he came from. So I know that's going to happen eventually. But so I see connections like that, and I'm like, oh, like I know it's gonna happen or surface at some point. So I do worry about that. But we all know I worry a lot about everything to do with my son. I would love to be working on that with a therapist. So I was supposed to I had a therapy session with a new therapist scheduled this week. And I had done all the things I needed to confirm, sent all the paperwork in I needed to send in. And coming up to the time with the appointment, I'm like, so it says it's going to send me information on how to get into the appointment. Well, I haven't got anything. So I waited. I'm like, well, maybe they send it right before the meeting. Nothing. So about 2 or 3 minutes into my supposed appointment time, I'm trying to call someone, and of course I can't get a live person. Left a message, got a call about 10 minutes later, where someone said, well, we sent you a text a couple months ago about some copay information, and you replied with stop. I'm like, can you tell me what the message said? And she read it to me. I'm like, nowhere on there do you make any reference to the company that I connected to my psychiatrist with or the psychiatrist's name. I said, so you are one of the millions of messages I get just like that every day that I stop or block. So it was too late at that point. So she sent me, she's like, oh, and that doctor's no longer accepting any new patients. And I'm like, oh, okay. So she sent me a list of other doctors that were accepting my insurance and new patients at this time. And I wasn't super impressed with the credentials that I saw. So I just my sister and my boyfriend are trying to convince me just to go back to my other therapist because I like her so much. It's just the cost, and I don't know, I just have a hard time justifying the cost when insurance wouldn't cover it. And I know mental health is so important, but it's like my boyfriend says we have it in the budget, but time after time I've seen that's really not the case. So I don't know. I really did like my therapist a lot. And she had like 7 years of my history, and that's but it was some good time. It was some good healing time this weekend. My brother-in-law and I got to bond a little bit and joke around and whatnot, and I had some boiled peanuts. God damn it, we left those in the fridge. I had some boiled peanuts. I'm not gonna have a lot of boiled peanuts because they're still in my sister's house, which is over in Daytona, but that's okay. So tomorrow, we're getting up super early and going to Disney World with Mom, taking her for her birthday. My boyfriend made these awesome matching shirts. We're gonna get her one of those "I'm celebrating my birthday" buttons, and her shirt's got the big numbers on the back of it for her age, and I'm really excited. And we're having a hard time like getting out of like what are the must-do items for tomorrow. And the only thing we've been able to get out of her is Haunted Mansion. So, I mean, that was a given anyway, because, yeah. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. I think I'm just going to keep it short this week, guys. I'm doing great. I hope you're doing great. I've got some friends struggling with some stuff, and that's always hard. But, you know, you have to remember you can only do so much for your friends, or you can only do so much for people that have to do some of the stuff themselves. And that's hard. But it's a fact. Check on yourself, check on your friends, make sure they are doing okay, and try to get them as much support as you can if they're not. Just know what support looks like. check on your family, make sure they're doing okay. I'm having a great time with mine. Not everyone has this luxury, so maybe take a moment and call someone in your family that's important to you or you haven't talked to in a while. And check on yourself. This is self-care. Spending time with family is self-care. And it's not self-care that I get often enough. So, healthy time with your family is self-care. When it's not healthy, it's not self-care. So, keep that in mind. All right. I love you guys. And I will check in with y'all next week when I will be back in Texas. Bye.